Good afternoon, baseball fans. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and time for a little lunchtime baseball. Getting back to our 1921 payoff pitch replay of the Yankees. And last week, getting that light heavyweight set tied up and ready to ship and get to the printer. So kind of set me back in the replay. I haven't done a game for a few games, but we're going to catch up on that, get this going again. And in today's game, the Yankees make their first trip to Washington to take on Walter Johnson and the Washington Senators. And this game played on 4/24/1921 ended up being a 3-1 Senators victory over the Yankees. And the Sens at this stage were really starting to become a rising team in the American League. They had the a lot of the base players in place for what would be their solid 2-year run in 1924-1925 when they won the pennant, defeating the Giants in the 1924 World Series, giving Walter Johnson his one and only championship ring, and then returning in 1925 to lose a tough series to the Pirates. And Johnson went 1-2 in 1924. Getting the series clinching victory, however, and 2-1 in the 1925 series against the Pirates, with the exact opposite result in the final game. So we'll get ready to go in our lineups for this one. The Yankees haven't changed their lineup at all through the season thus far. It'll be the usual Chick Fuster leading off at second, Roger Peckinpah at short, the Bambino in left, Wally Pipp at first, Bob Musil in right, Ping Bodie in center, Aaron Ward at third, Wally Shang behind the plate. And on the dish for the Yankees today will be Bill Piercy, making his second start of 1921. And in his first start out, Piercy struggled a little bit. Well, struggled quite a bit, actually. He only lasted 3 innings. So he'll be looking to or do much better this time out for the Senators. Their lineup is Joe Judge at first, Clyde Milan, a holdover from some of their better, their only good team in the dead ball era, 1913. Sam Rice in center, Duffy Lewis, former Red Sox, in left, Bucky Harris at second, Howie Shanks at third, Frank O'Rourke at short, Patsy Garrity is catching, and Tom Zachary, who 6 years from now would give up Babe Ruth's 60th home run in 1927, is on the hill for the home team, and we're ready to go. So joining us at the ballpark, Sports Time Machine Utah Mike. What is up, my friend? And you played a Yankee game earlier then? This last week has been crazy for me trying to keep up with everyone's videos, getting the Glory Days Boxing Light Heavyweights set up and out the door and all that good stuff. And also joining us, Matt, Steeler fan 1933, is in the chat. Thank you very much. And we are ready to go. So let's get this baby kicked off. And Zachary, right away, we're going to have a defensive check. And totally did not have my set ready. This will be an error check on the second baseman, and that is no good. A 15 is going to result in an error. So that's going to be booted right out of the gate by Bucky Harris. I don't know what I'm doing with Piercy up there. So leading off the game, Fuster in E4. Get my bearing straight here. And Zachary set the pitch to Roger Peckinpah, who will be a future member of the Senators and on that 1924 championship team. It's going to be an in-play result. And Peckinpah against the left-hander, he's going to pop that up into shallow left field, and shortstop going back to pull that in is O'Rourke, 1 down. And that'll bring up the Bambino, and Ruth, who started extremely slow in this, is finally cooking in the last couple of games. He's going to get an in-play result against the left-hander. Oh, just missed a pop fly into shallow center field, and ranging back to pull that in. Nice running catch behind the bag is second baseman Bucky Harris. 2 down, and runner on first. Zachary looking to get out of this first inning with no damage after the error. It's going to be another defensive check, however, and that's an error check on the shortstop. And at short is O'Rourke, and he has an error rating of 3. And roll of 56 or 52 is going to be an error. And infield error is going to be 2 bases. So that's going to put runners at the corners. So Washington. Moving over to third is Fuster, the E6, and Washington, their own worst enemy to start this first inning. And Zachary should have been out of this inning. And Musial, who has been extremely cold starting this off, he's going to get a patient result. And 10 is going to be a base on ball, so that'll load him up for the Yanks. And Ping Bodie, a chance to be an early hero. Zachary cursing his defense. Gets a sign, kicks, delivers, and that is not going to be very good. 14, Bodie, and that is going to be a single. And runner on second base, Wally Pipp is a 7. He's going to come around to score, and Musial will get to third on that. A 2-run single that should not have occurred as the Yankees jump out to a 2-0 lead. And both runs, of course, unearned for Zachary as his defense. Off to a terrible start in this game, and runners at the corners for Aaron Ward now. Zachary trying to regain his composure. Here comes a pitch, patient, 49, and 49. That's going to be another single. And runner on first base, Bodie, is only a 5. So long single into the gap, he will only advance 1 base, but coming in to score is Musial with a 3rd run, another unearned tally as the Yankees now lead at 3-0 due to defensive lapses by the Senators. Crowd letting their displeasure be known. Wally Shank steps up, 2 down, trying to get out of the inning. And another defensive check. And the Senators' defense is just imploding here in the first inning. Third base, that'll be Howie Shanks, a range check. And Howie Shanks is a B. And roll of 48. He's going to make a nice play. Dives, comes up, goes a short way to second base, and finally out of the inning. But the damage is done. The Yankees take advantage of 2 errors, plate 3 runs, all unearned. We head to the bottom of the first inning. New York 3 and home team Washington 0. And Robert has joined us at the ballpark. What is up, my friend? Okay, so Utah Mike, and check out Utah Mike's channel, 2:30 today, Utah time. Will be a Yankees game against Phillies. And, of course, RJL, who is a huge Yankees fan, will be there for that. Check out his 1921 Cardinals replay as well as the 1994 restart he's doing also with Payoff Pitch as we are set for the bottom of the first inning. And Bill Piercy staked to a nice lead. See if he takes advantage of that. Had a terrible start his first outing. It's going to be a fly ball by Judge into left field. Babe Ruth. Routine play for the Bambino. 1 down to start the first. Clyde Milan, not as fast as he was in the dead ball days, but still a threat on the bases. And 36 in play result. That is going to be a line drive right at the second baseman, and self-defense out there at second for Fuster. Pulls that one in, 2 down, and Piercy off to a good start as Sam Rice, the left-hander, steps into the box. Going to be a tough result, and 87 to Rice. And Rice does not strike out, but he doesn't get hits there either. That's a ground ball down to second. So an easy 3-up, 3-down inning for Piercy. As Zachary, wondering why his defense can't play like that, trots back out for the second inning with a 3-0 deficit staring him. And Bill Piercy, his counterpart, steps into the dish. It's going to be an in-play result. And Piercy starts it off with a single right back up the middle. So Zachary, definitely out of sorts after a rough first inning, starts the second in bad shape. It'll be an in-play result to Fuster. And 81 to Chick. That's a fly ball into center field. Sam Rice going back a few steps and pulls that in, gets the ball back into the infield. 1 down. Roger Peckinpah, the batter. And Peckinpah is going to get an in-play result, 40 against the left-hander. That's going to be a pop fly into foul territory. Ranging back to pull that in is Garrity. So Zachary rebounds, gets the next out after the leadoff single, but now staring at him is the Bambino. And here comes a pitch and a defensive check again. And that's going to be a range check in center field. And Sam Rice in center field for the Senators. He has got excellent range. He is a B out there. He's going to run that one down easily. So side is retired. Ruth gave it a ride, but it fell short. And the Yankees go quietly in the second inning. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, nobody left as we head to the bottom of 2. New York 3, Washington 0. Duffy Lewis leads it off against Piercy. And in play result, 45 to Piercy. That's going to be a ground ball down to third base. And Aaron Ward feels out on a tough hop, whips it across the diamond to Pitt. 1 down to start the second. And Robert has just mentioned the 1921 Pirates at Cardinals later today, so be sure to check that one out. As Bucky Harris steps in with 1 out, and Piercy, here comes a pitch. That's going to be an in-play result. 39 against the right-hander. That's a pop fly, and ranging just to the right of home plate to pull that in is the catcher Shang. Will officially be a foul out, and 2 down here in the second. As Howie Shanks, the Senators' third baseman, steps in. Wheelhouse Shanks, a big swing, and that is going to be a drive into center field going back close to the track, and not enough room out there to get it out of the park. As Ping Bodie runs that down, he gave it a charge, but it died at the track. So we are through 2 innings. New York up over Washington 3-0. And Zachary set to face Pip to lead off the third. Zachary starts it out with a wide one, and that's ball 4 to Pip, who trots down to first base. Once again, the Yankees with a leadoff base runner, Bob Musial up. And Musial walked and scored in the first inning. Tough result to Musial, who has had all kinds of issues making contact. He leads the Yankees in strikeouts, surprisingly not Ruth. And he set down there, swing and a miss. So 1 down for Ping Bodie. Yankee center fielder, and yet another defensive check for the Senators. That's going to be a range check in center field. And again, a B out in center field is Rice, and he's going to run that down. A nice over-the-shoulder catch. And Pip has to scurry back to first base ahead of the return throw. 2 down, runner on first, and we have our first foul ball. I will retrieve that later, getting a spare ball from the umpire. And Zachary, that's going to be an in-play result, 51 to Aaron Ward. That'll be a ground ball down to first base, and taking that to the bag himself to end the inning is Joe Judge, 3 unassisted. So Yankees, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left as we head to the third, starting to move along now. New York 3 and Senator 0. Leading it off for the Sens is Frank O'Rourke, and the shortstop, his first at-bat of the day, is going to get a in-play result from Piercy. Gets a hold of that, and it's going to be a fly ball into right field, and Musial, plenty of room out there to pull that in. 1 down to start the third for the home team as Patsy Garrity steps up. Piercy didn't get out of the third inning, his first start of the season. And that'll be a tough result to Garrity. Swing and a miss. Piercy, first strikeout of the game, gets him with a high heat. And that will bring up his counterpart, Tom Zachary. Zachary, the victim of some unfortunate defense. And Zachary's going to be a victim of another Piercy high fastball as he swings way late on that. Strike 3, inning is over. Piercy has set down the first 9 Senators he's faced. We're through 3. New York leads at 3-0 as Wally Shang will start the Yankees' fourth off against Zachary. And here we go. In-play result for Shang against the left-hander, and that's going to be a pop fly, and behind third base, ranging back to take that in shallow left field for the first out is Howie Shanks. And I mentioned it earlier, this set has a lot more pop-outs than the 1969 set, which I actually like. I did not feel really there was enough pop-outs in that set. But getting a good variety outs in this set, actually. As Zachary set to face Piercy now, and 7, that'll be an in-play result. That's a hard drive into left field, but that's going to be right at the left fielder, Duffy Lewis, who formerly patrolled Duffy's Hill at Fenway. The former Red Sox outfielder records out number 2 in the top of the 4th. Back to the top of the order, Chick Fuster, and Fuster in-play result. That's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop. Routine play for O'Rourke. Whips it across the diamond, and Zachary has settled down Got through the last 2 innings without allowing a hit. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 3 up, 3 down go the Yanks. They lead at 3-0, though, as Piercy set to go through the Senators' order for the 2nd time. Piercy gets a sign, kicks, delivers, in play result, and ground ball down to shortstop. Peckinpah, nice backhanded stop, whips it across the diamond, 1 down. So Piercy set down the first 10 he's faced, and he did have a 2.98 ERA in 1921, so his first outing notwithstanding, he did have a decent season. He's going to go patient here and finally allow his first base runner as Clyde Milan draws ball 4 and trots down to first base. And using the auto steal rating, he will stay put. Probably a good idea. Milan's still a decent base stealer, not premier like he was in the teens. As Piercy now set to face the dangerous Sam Rice, that's going to be an in-play result. Rice, it's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop, and 6. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play, as Rice's double play rating is a 6, Piercy's is 7. So that 1-out walk is immediately erased. No hitter intact. We're through 4. Yankees 3, Senators 0. And Roger Peckinpah set to lead off the 5th inning as we get to the halfway point of this one. Defensive check again. Be a range check on first base. So 96, Joe Judge going to make a nice play on that. Flips underhand to Zachary covering. And 1 down to start the 5th inning for the Yanks. Babe Ruth up. Ruth 0 for 2. He has popped up to second, flown out to center field. Wheelhouse, Ruth, swinging. That ball is gone. No doubt about that. Babe Ruth put a charge into that, and Zachary, who once again will give up his 60th home run in 1927 a few years down the road, gets a taste of what's to come as Ruth gives that one a rocket ride into the right field bleachers. Yankees extend their lead to 4-0, and first earned run surrendered by Zachary. And Zachary, another wheelhouse result. Pip, a big swing, but that's going to fall at the track. A deep fly ball, not quite enough on that, but Pip had his chance, so 2 down. As the catch out in right field is recorded by Clyde Milan. 2 down for Musial, and Musial has walked and struck out today, and that's going to be a tough result. And Musial against the left-hander, he's going to put this one into play. 79 will be a fly ball into center field. Musial's been a victim of quite a few tough rolls by opposing pitchers, and as you can see, his especially against right-handers, strikes out 1-82. Not a good contact guy. But that tires aside. We're through 4.5. The Yankees tackling on a mammoth home run by Babe Ruth. Heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. And New York leads us at 4-0. Duffy Lewis set to face Piercy, and Piercy's going to start him off tough. 61 against the right-hander, and that's going to be a single off the end of the bat. First hit of the game for the Senators. Tough break for Piercy. Made a great pitch on the outside corner, and just able to push that into right field is Duffy Lewis. Bucky Harris now steps in with nobody out, runner on first base, and that's going to be an in-play result for Harris. 51, be a ground ball down to first base, and that is above both double play ratings. So moving up to second is Lewis. 3 unassisted on the putout for Harris. And 1 down for Howie Shanks, the left-handed hitting third baseman. 0 for 1 today, flew out in the 2nd inning. And 4 is going to be a patient result, and that's going to be a wide one. So 2nd walk of the game surrendered by Piercy, and the Senators, who he had stymied through 4 innings, now threatening here in the 5th. 1 out, 2 on. In play result, and 15 to Frank O'Rourke. That's going to be a single. And hard grounder into left field. The runner on first advances 1. Runner on second advances 1. So that's going to load him up. And Piercy Just when it looked like he was cruising to an easy victory. Asked Carl Mays about that in his last start. Bases are loaded, one down, and he needs a big pitch here. It'll be a tough result. And 90 to Patsy Garrity, and that's going to be a ground ball down to short. 7, and not going to be enough to get the double play. They get the runner at second, but coming in to score will be Duffy Lewis. So fielder's choice. And RBI for Garrity, 2 down, but the Senators on the board have cut the lead to 4-1. And Zachary's going to go ahead and bat here in the 5th, as he has pitched good since that rough first inning, which again was not his fault. And here comes the pitch. Piercy, high heat, swing and a miss. Second time he sent Zachary down on strikes today. So that retires a side, but the Senators get a couple of hits. They're first of the ball game, and plate 1. We're through 5. New York 4, Washington 1. And back to the top of the order now, or not to the top of the 6th, I should say. Ping Bodie, and the Yankees center fielder. He is 1 for 2 with a 2-run single in the first inning. And Zachary's going to get an in-play result, 31 against the right-hander, and Bodie does not do well against righties. That's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. A short flip over to first, and Bodie back to the dugout. 1 down for third baseman Aaron Ward, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI today. And ballpark result, 54 against for a right-handed batter. That's going to be an in-play result. And Griffith Stadium, not as hitter-friendly as our first 2 ballparks have been. It's going to be a fly ball into shallow center field. Running in to take that is Rice. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. That brings up Wally Shang. And another in-play result. Shang gets the right-hander. He's going to bloop that just over the shortstop's head. That falls into left field. A 2-out single. And Bill Piercy will come up, trying to help himself with a little 2-out lightning here, and a tough result instead. He's going to swing wildly and be set down on strikes. First time he's struck out today. He is now 1 for 3 as the Yankees go down in the 6th. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. We are through 5.5. Washington trailing at 4-1, looking to get back in the ball game. It will be Joe Judge to face Piercy. Top of the order here in the 6th for the Sens. And in-play result for Judge, that's a fly ball into left field. Babe Ruth ranges to his left, pulls that in, one-handed catch, bobbles it, smile on his face so as he recovers to reel it in. Piercy telling him to use 2 hands. Tough result to Clyde Milan, and Milan, it's going to be a ground ball down to shortstop. And Peckinpah gets the candy hop there and retires Milan. 2 down as Piercy seems to have bounced back from a somewhat rough 5th inning. 2 down for Sam Rice, and first defensive check of the game for Piercy. That'll be a range check on the pitcher. And 52, Piercy. He has a range of C, and he's going to get to that, knock it down, recover, make the throw to first base, and side is retired. So 3 up, 3 down go the Senators here in the 6th inning. We're heading to the 7th. New York clinging to a 4-1 lead. And it'll be top of the order for the Yankees with Chick Fuster. Fuster on the day is 0 for 3 with a run scored, reached on an error back in the 1st. And in-play result be a line drive right at the shortstop. So good play at short by O'Rourke. 1 down for Peckinpah. And the Yankee shortstop today is 0 for 3. Another in-play result, and Peckinpah gets the left-hander. He drives that into the gap, and he's heading around first, going to second base. Here comes the throw. Slides safe. A 1-out double. So Peckinpah in scoring position for the Babe. And Ruth today, 1 for 3 with that prodigious home run, his last at bat. And looking to avoid that will be Zachary. He comes tough to him, and Ruth, corkscrew swing, misses everything as the knuckleball floats by. Strike 3, Ruth, embarrassed back to the dugout. 2 outs for Wally Pitt. Runner in scoring position, looking for some insurance here in the 7th inning. And a tough result to Pip, and 51, that is going to be a single. And run rating of 8 is Peckinpah. He's going to come around to score, and the Yankees' 5th run of the game increase their lead to 5-1 on the 2-out clutch single by Peckinpah, or Pip. scoring Peckinpah, and Bob Musial now will be the batter. And the Senators finally get some action going in their bullpen. Harry Courtney and Al Schacht are up and throwing. And that will be a tough result to Musial. And Musial, 71. He gets those tough numbers. That'll be a ground ball, though. At least he puts it in play. 4-3 on the putout. Harris over to Judge, and the Yankees are retired, but they tack on one more here in the 7th. Heading to the 7th inning stretch, New York 5, Washington 1. And no 7th inning fun facts today, as I'm trying to squeeze this in on my lunchtime at work. So instead, we'll go right to it. Duffy Lewis leading off the 7th against Piercy, who has pitched a wonderful game, an in-play result against the right-hander. That's going to be a line drive to short. And jumping up to snag that is Peckinpah. Hard hit ball, but right at the shortstop. One down to start the 7th. Bucky Harris up now. And Piercy, that'll be a tough result to Harris. 55, and that'll be a ground ball down to third. Aaron Ward charges that, whips it across sidearm, and nice stretch to pull that in as Pip. 2 down here in the 7th. And that will bring up Howie Shanks. And Shanks going to be a tough result. He's going to get a hold of that, though. Drive it into center field, and going back near the track to pull that in is Ping Bodie. Nice running catch. So 3 up, 3 down again for Piercy. As we're through 7, Yankees holding a comfortable 5-1 lead. And Zachary can go all 9 innings. He has given up 5 runs, but 3 of them unearned. And they're going to leave him on the hill. Still pitching fresh to face Ping Bodie, and that'll be a patient result to Bodie. 78, fly ball into center field, and ranging to pull that in is Sam Rice. 1 down to start the 8th. Aaron Ward, the batter. Zachary gets a sign, kicks, delivers in play, and that'll be a pop fly behind third base, and calling off the third baseman is the shortstop, Frank O'Rourke, who makes a nice play back there. Had the better angle on that, 2 down, and that brings up the catcher, Wally Shang. And Shang today is 1 for 3. And Shang gets an in-play result, ground ball down to short, and ranging behind second base to pull that in is O'Rourke, whips it across to Judge. 3 up, 3 down go the Yankees here in the 8th. So we head to the bottom of the frame and due up for the Senators. It'll be O'Rourke, Garrity in the pitcher spot. The Yankees lead this 5-1, and we're going to have a pinch hitter. For Zachary when his time comes. So he'll be credited with 8 innings pitched today. And again, his defense destroyed him. Apart from that, he pitched fairly well. Only gave up 7 hits, 5 runs. Again, only 2 of them earned. Walked 2, struck out 2, and gave up the home run to Babe Ruth. So Courtney will be the new pitcher for the Yankees in the 9th inning. And ready to go here in the bottom of the 8th. And Piercy, it's going to be a defensive check. Yankees defense has played very well today. In left field for the Yanks with an error rating of 2. And making a nice play out there is the Bambino. So 1 down to start the 8th. We'll bring up the catcher, Patsy Garrity. Garrity has reached on a fielder's choice and struck out. He has the Senators' only RBI today on that ground out. And in-play result from Piercy against the right-hander. That's going to be a ground ball down to first. Picking that up and taking it to the bag himself will be Wally Pipp. And Bing Miller will be the pinch hitter for the pitcher spot. Miller, a veteran, had some good years with the Philadelphia Athletics in the teens. And Piercy, it's going to be an in-play result. And Miller, he comes through with a pinch hit single here with 2 outs in the 8th. So the Senators not going away quietly. Back to the top of the order, Joe Judge, who is 0 for 3 today. Here comes a pitch, and that'll be a patient result to Judge. 60 on the patient column, and that is going to be a single. And Bing Miller is a 6, so we'll draw a card for him. And sharp line drive into center field, a one-base advance. So back-to-back singles with 2 outs have the Senators in business and threatening. No action in the Yankees bullpen still. And 7 going to be tough. Clyde Milan, swing and a miss. Foul tipped that, but hung on to by Shang, and a clutch pitch by Piercy. And that ends the inning, as Milan does not strike out very much at all against right-handers. So Piercy made the pitch he needed to make. The Senators strand 2 after they get a couple of hits. We're heading to the final frame. New York leads at 5-1. And Bill Piercy, he's going to stay in the game. They're going to give him a chance to complete this. So 6, that'll be patient, and Piercy starts off the 9th inning with a base on balls against Courtney. And walking your counterpart is not how you want to start the next inning when you're trying to keep this game close. And D. Scott Howard, I just noticed you at the ballpark. Welcome, my friend. Winding this one down as Chick Fuster with 1 on. Set to face Courtney, and here comes a pitch, and wheelhouse result for Fuster, and Courtney, the left-hander, and he is terrible. Or does not have much power. That's going to be a single. But Babe wishes that was him. That's going to be a long single into the gap. Runner on first can try to go to third, and Piercy not a good runner, so they're going to play it station to station. As Peckinpah comes up, nobody out, 2 on, and Yankees looking to blow this one wide open here in the top of the 9th. Ballpark result, and that's going to be a wheelhouse for Peckinpah. And against left-handers, Peckinpah 46 or less, 35, and that's going to be a single. Hard grounder into left field. Runner on first advances 2 bases. Runner on second scores, and the Yankees extend the lead, as coming in to score is Piercy. RBI single for Peckinpah makes it 6-1, and even more important, Babe Ruth in the batter's box with nobody out, and Courtney wants no part of this. 7, that'll be a patient result, and he didn't give Ruth anything close to hit. 4 wide ones, and Ruth trots down to first. Sacks are loaded, still nobody out for Wally Pipp. And this could get ugly. Here comes a pitch, and a patient result to Pipp. 31, and that's going to be another walk. Coming in to score is Fuster. Going to third, Peckinpah, Ruth to second, and an RBI walk for Wally Pipp. And Bob Musial, who has been slumping to start the season. If there was any time to break that, it's right now. It'll be an in-play result. 33 against the left-hander, but he pops it up behind second base and trusts Musial to choke there, and Frank O'Rourke's going to pull that in. So 1 down for Ping Bodie. Sack still loaded. Courtney is trying to avoid any more carnage in this one, and he's patient result, 71 against the left-hander, and that'll be a fly ball into center field. And on patient, coach's choice, second and third. On third base, Peckinpah is an 8, and in center field, with an arm of 8 for the Senators is Sam Reich. You know we're going to test that. So fly out to center. Here we go. 8 or less, he's safe. And 8 slides in just under the throw, and a close play, closer than it should have been. But that will be an RBI sacrifice fly to center field for Ping Bodie. And the Yankees now extend their lead to 8-1. 2 outs for Aaron Ward. Runners on first and second. Courtney the pitch in play, and Ward, that's a double. And grounder down the line, and that clears the bases. So 2 more runs come in to score, and the wheels have come off in the 9th inning for the Senators. And this Yankee team is explosive, prone to the big inning, as Wally Shang will be the 9th batter. They're just leaving Courtney out there at this point. He started this mess. He's going to have to suck it up and weather the storm. Another in-play result, and Bodie, 21. That's going to be another single. And Ward is a 6. We'll have to draw a card. That's a soft blooper into right field. And runner on second is going to score. So the Yankees have batted around here in the ninth to completely blow this one open, as Piercy, the one who started it with a walk, is going to hit again. Yankees lead it 11-1, and Courtney looking to the bench, and manager shakes him off. You're going to have to ride this one out. Ballpark, and 0-1. It's going to be a wheelhouse for Piercy. 31 or less, and the carnage keeps going as Piercy drives that one into center field, and Shang is a 6. So runner on first advances 2. And this one is just getting ugly. Runners at the corner, still 2 outs. Courtney might as well be playing underhand softball at this point, as the Yankees have totally blown this one open here in the top of the ninth. And patient result to Fuster, 71. Can he get out of the inning? Absolutely not. That's going to be a hit by pitch, and the bases are loaded again. Unbelievable, as Peckinpah will be the 12th batter to come to the plate here in the top of the ninth. Yankees rubbing it in play result, and mercifully, Peckinpah is going to drive that into right field, a shallow fly ball. Coming in to take that is Milan, and Side is finally retired. But the Yankees come up with 6 hits and 6 runs. And we head to the bottom of the ninth inning, and New York leads this 11-1, a much different result than we had in the real-life game, which was a 3-1 win for the Senators. So Piercy looks like he's got an easy path to get the complete game here. There is no action in the Yankees bullpen. They're just going to let him ride this out. He's only given up 1 run. And tough result to Sam Rice starting off the inning, and 73. It's going to be a fly ball into center field. A nice routine fly out there for Ping Bodie. 1 down for Duffy Lewis. Piercy in a groove. Gets signed, kicks, delivers, 33. Swing and a miss. So he's still bringing the heat here in the ninth as Lewis strikes out. 2 down for Bucky Harris. And Yankees on their feet. And as far as the Washington fans, they're on their feet and out of the ballpark. They're done with this one. Tough result to Bucky Harris, and that's going to be the ball game as Harris drives that into center field as Bodie drifts to his right. 2 hands that, 3 up, 3 down go the Sens, and ball game is over. A decisive beatdown for the Yankees in this one. And we'll get you our final line score. The Yankees are going to collect 11 runs on 13 hits, no errors. And for the Senators, 1 run on 4 hits, 2 very costly errors. And again, courtesy of a rough start in the first and a huge explosion by the Yankees in the ninth, where they parlayed 6 hits and a couple or 3 walks into 6 runs to make this one a no-doubter. Piercy gets the win. He goes the route and again gets up 4 hits, 1 earned run. The loser is going to be Tom Zachary, who was the victim of some shoddy defense, as the Yankees, in their 1921 replay, are now going to move to 6-2 through 8 games with, again, this decisive victory. Let's update Babe Ruth. He came into this game hitting .273. He did have a .484 on-base percentage, though, as he's walked 9 times coming in. And today, the Bambino went 1 for 4. Scored 2 runs, which gives him 8 for the season. Collected yet another RBI. He now has 7 of those. And his 3rd home run. Also his 10th walk and his 6th strikeout. So Ruth, through 8 games, is now hitting .269 with 3 home runs, 7 ribbies, and a .472 on base percentage. So that's going to do it from Washington at Griffith Stadium. And Robert, what is Babe's stats? I read your mind and you got him. So there he is at this point, starting to heat up a little bit after a very slow start. Musial, that guy is a much different story. He's off to a terrible start. in this one. Let's just update him real quick. Musial today, he did score a run off of a walk, but apart from that, went 0 for 4. And he struck out again as well. So Musial, who will be a integral part of the Murderers Row lineup in the mid-20s for this Yankees team, off to a terrible start in this replay. He is now 4 for 34, a 118 batting average, 167 on base percentage. He has 3 runs scored, 1 ribby, a double, 1 walk, has been hit by a pitch once, and has struck out 9 times, which leads the team. So Musial, he'll get it going, and when he heats up, he should make the Yankees even stronger than they are to start this. But hey, thanks to everyone for stopping by. Steelers fan 1933 Matt, check out his Glory Days Boxing Dynasty on Operation Sports. Sports Time Machine Utah Mike, and he'll have a Phillies-Yankees game coming up later today as RJL, Robert, RJL 518. Check out his great channel, does a lot of payoff pitch. He's doing a 1921 Cardinals replay to coincide with my 1921 Yankees replay. See if we can meet in the World Series. And of course, our good friend of the channel, D. Scott Howard. Thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you all have a great day. Until then, this is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming. Until next time, keep rolling for that home run. We'll see you. And next up on the channel will be a by request fight. Joe Louis versus Evander Holyfield, Glory Days Boxing 10-round heavyweight fight, and that was requested by our friend of the channel, Golden Eagle 99. So we'll see that one next, and until next time, take care, everyone.